Hello. All right, so I get asked tons and tons of questions about brushes. My first thing that I always tell everyone is the first brush that you need to get, and this is my number one recommendation, is the blush and bronzer brush. And here's why. You can use it for everything to apply your makeup when you're first getting started. You can use this end for applying your highlight colors. You can kind of squeeze it to apply your contour colors. I just think it's a really super versatile brush. I love the big fluffy end of the other side for blending, for powder, for illuminator, for bronzer. It's perfect for all things. So if you're only getting one brush, this blush and bronzer is the one for you. If you're interested in bronzer, it comes in a bundle where I think the bronzer ends up being $4. So it comes with the brush and the bronzer, and I think it's only $4 for the bronzer. So that's the way to go for this double-ended fantastic brush. All of our brushes are double-ended, so you get really double the value, and they're really high quality. I've had this brush for a really long time, and I love it. I just clean it with my Houdini brush cleaner, and I am ready to go. So if you only can get one brush, the blush and bronzer is the way to go. If you're planning to get a second brush, whether it's the first go around or you already have and love the makeup and you're looking for a second brush, the 3D brush is a winner. I personally use this pointy end of the 3D brush for my color correct. I use this end of it because it is kind of similar to the other end of the blush and bronzer brush for my highlight colors. This is good for contour as well because it does have kind of like that pointy end. Okay, so if you're getting two brushes, blush and bronzer brush, 3D brush, they can kind of do all the makeup things. Now let's talk about some of my personal favorites. And these two brushes I think are probably the most unique, which is why I love them. So this first one is this buff brush. It has double ends and it's really tightly compacted. This brush needs cleaned, but this is, you know, what I use every day. So very tightly compacted. So it has a thicker side and then a smaller side. This is the most full coverage of our brushes, so it will give you a more fuller coverage than the blush and bronzer and the 3D brush. But here's why I love it. Because it has that smaller side, it's really good at getting into these inner corners or your of your eye, or in your the crevices of your nose, things like that. So I really love it for that. If you're a more full coverage girl, this buff brush is for you. The detail brush I love because it's kind of a different brush. Again, it's not a brush you could go out and get anywhere. Because it has this flat end, it's a really good one for doing contouring your nose if that's something that you're interested in. It has this little end that I like to use for sometimes applying my blush or my illuminator if I don't want to use my finger, because a lot of times I use my finger for those too, but if I don't want to, I love using this little fluffy end of it for that. So this is the detail brush. I love that it's flat, just really great for contouring. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the lightest coverage. So this is the blend brush. It's double-sided. It's got like this, almost looks like a traditional paintbrush on one side and then a smaller version on the other. If you're looking for a really light weekend coverage, you don't want a lot of makeup on your face, maybe if you're a teenager or you have a teenage daughter and you don't want her to have too much makeup on, this blend brush is the way to go. I actually use, as you can tell because it's kind of pink, I use it a lot for my blush just so it is a lighter coverage because I don't want too much blush on my face. So that's the blend brush. And now I'm going to talk about the last face brush, and that's the powder brush. So it has a slanted pointy end that is very soft and then more of a domed end. I use this brush to apply my Vanilla Dust setting powder. It does come in a duo with the Vanilla Dust setting powder that, again, I think makes the setting powder like $4. So you get the brush and the setting powder, and I think the powder is only then $4 as opposed to the $16 that it usually is. So this is the powder brush. Lots of women use this side for their contour just because it has like that domed shape. So again, powder brush for powder. All right, so now we're gonna get into some of the smaller brushes, but the first smaller brush that I need to talk to you about is the eyeshadow brush. When I first started just wearing the makeup, I was very anti the eyeshadow brush. I was like, I have brushes. I don't need another brush. Eyeshadow brushes are eyeshadow brushes. And I was wrong. I'll be very honest. I thought that it was fine. I thought my eyeshadow looked okay. And then once I became an artist, I got it as in my kit. And I was like, let me try it out. Totally different. Totally different. So this pencil end I love because I love to use it to apply shadow to my lids. I love it for in my crease. I love it for lining my eyes so that I don't have to use eyeliner. I can kind of match my eyeliner right up to the color that I'm wearing today. And this fluffy end is phenomenal for blending. So blending that shadow in so that there's no hard or scary lines. This eyeshadow brush is fantastic and it's not expensive. I want to say it's $18. $18 for 2 brushes. Fantastic. You can also use the smudge brush, which is like a little bit thicker brushes, also really great for blending. I actually, if you saw, there was glitter that flew off of mine. I don't know if you can see it because I use it a lot for applying my really glittery shadows. So this is the smudge brush. The last 2 brushes I'm going to talk about, as I drop one, are, this is the multitasker. So it has this end that's really good for lining your lips and applying your lip color. And then it has this end, if you want a crisper, this is what I use it for, a crisper eyeliner, or if you want to take, so sometimes I'll take a really bright fun color and I'll dip it right in the end of it because it's like got that thin edge, and I'll just like line that upper lid with it. It's phenomenal. So great for lips, lining your lips, filling in your lips, and for your eyes. And then the line brush. I use this one every single day. I use it for my brows. So I use contour in my brows. So I dip this end in, I kind of put contour into my brows, and then I use the spoolie end to kind of fluff everything out and make it perfect. So that's the line brush. Please, 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 if you need brush recommendations, if you're looking for a new brush, remember all of our brushes are specially designed for our makeup, for cream makeup. Most women will say, well, I have a good brush that I really like to apply my makeup with. And I say, okay, that's great. And then they come back in a week once they've used it and they're like, yeah, it's not really doing what I want it to do. And my answer to that is, well, our face makeup and our brushes are designed to go together because it's just specially designed for cream. If you have any questions or you need anything from me, please let me know. Thanks. Have a great day.